The Chief Justice of India, BR Gavai, has said that he will be constituting a bench for hearing a petition filed on behalf of the Allahabad High Court Judge, Justice Varma, challenging the in-house inquiry procedure and then Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna's recommendations to the President and the Prime Minister to remove the judge from office. Senior advocate Kapil Sibal, on behalf of Yashwant Varma, mentioned the matter before the bench led by Chief Justice Gavai for urgent hearing. The CJI said that since he was part of the decision to transfer Yashwant Varma, it would not be proper for him to hear it, and thus a 3-judge bench was to be formed. Remember, these developments come just a day after a total of 145 members of parliament in Lok Sabha and 63 members of parliament in Rajya Sabha submitted a petition regarding the impeachment of Justice Varma in connection with the cash discovery row. If there is prima facie case that funds are unaccounted for in removing the judge, the first or the last step. Let's start off our conversation. Joining me on the telecast is Advocate Aman Lekhi. He is the former Additional Solicitor General. Thank you, Advocate Lekhi, for joining me. And my first question to you about the developments. How do you view, first of all, the petition in court, the 3-judge bench that has been constituted by the Chief Justice of India, and at the same time, parallelly, things that are happening in the parliament? There has been quite a commotion that has been built on the impeachment motion that is being sought by members of parliament in Rajya Sabha and in Lok Sabha as well.
Well, this petition is utterly misconceived. It doesn't lie. Insofar as the process is concerned, the process is constitutionally sanctioned, followed by, accompanied by the Judges Inquiry Act. So what is necessary is that the initiation of the process, acceptance by the Speaker or the Chairman, in this case the Joint Committee, and thereafter the Inquiry Committee. Whatever I read the newspaper, this petition challenges the opinion, the recommendation of the former Chief Justice insofar as impeachment is concerned. Now, that is not in any way integral to the impeachment process. The impeachment process will stand or fall on the basis of the substantive procedural requirements that it has necessary to follow. And the problems otherwise in the in-house procedure will have absolutely no bearing on this particular process. Even insofar as the submissions made by the learned judge is concerned, insofar as the merits of the matter is concerned, that is reversal of the onus, etc., that in my opinion doesn't really take his case any far. As far as the in-house procedure is concerned, it's more or less like a screening committee. It just justifies the initiation of the impeachment process. The impeachment process has the first step of the impeachment process, as far as submission is by the parliamentarians is concerned, has started. It depends upon it's been accepted, whereafter the Judge Inquiry Committee will take over. So whatever has happened in the in-house procedure will, in my opinion, really have very little bearing on the outcome of the impeachment process.
Okay, now what are going to be the next steps when we talk about the in-house inquiry and then an impeachment process that you said is going to be started in the parliament? What is going to be the end goal? Is this the final step, or if proven guilty, Justice Varma is also going to be charged on a criminal case against him for the corruption charge that has been leveled against him?
I couldn't follow the question. This is an impeachment process. As the criminal proceedings are concerned, they are completely different. It's got nothing to do with the criminal proceedings. That has a different regimen altogether. Insofar as this process is concerned, the process commences with the submission of a notice of motion. The notice of motion has to be of a prescribed number of MPs, depending upon whether it's Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Thereafter, it is admitted. On its being admitted, an inquiry committee is constituted. The inquiry committee then submits a report. The report is debated, and on the basis of whatever the recommendation finding, if the requisite majority passes it, then the judge is impeached. That is the process which is there. The next step would be, insofar as the admission of the process is concerned, and constitution, should it be admitted of the inquiry committee in terms of Judges Inquiry Act.
Okay, all right. And talking about this furor that has been created, where the former chairman of Rajya Sabha has accepted the submission of the 63 members of parliament in Rajya Sabha. Even before Om Birla, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, could accept the 145 of those in notices that had been filed by the members of parliament seeking the impeachment of Justice Varma. What is your view on all this that has been going on? Do you think this is just a political slugfest that we see, with one political party trying to take responsibility and try to take credit for this whole situation?
Well, the law contemplates the motion can be moved in both houses. It's not unusual that it's moved only in one. It can be moved simultaneously on the same day in two houses. The only condition thereafter is it's moved simultaneously. In that event, the chairman and the speaker will jointly constitute the committee which has to inquire. So insofar as any prioritization is concerned, that is not something which is legally relevant. Insofar as optics is concerned, perhaps it may have certain significance. But law itself contemplates a situation where there will be simultaneously in both houses separate notices of motion and contemplates a procedure to deal with it. And that will necessarily follow the mandate of the law. And that is the committee to be eventually constituted will be jointly constituted by the speaker and the chairman. That's all the law contemplates. So I really don't know what has happened with the vice president. Everything is in the realm of speculation. It's not for us to in any way guess what has happened. That is for whatever information will come later on. And so the impeachment process is concerned, it can be filed in the Rajya Sabha. It can also be filed on the same day in the Lok Sabha. And if that happens, then as far as the committee is concerned, it will be jointly constituted. That's the law.
Okay, absolutely. And talking about the petition that has been filed by Judge Yashwant Varma in the Supreme Court, what are the clauses on which he is arguing his case?
I don't know what clauses he's arguing. Whatever I know is whatever is in the public domain. Whatever I have read, because I haven't seen the petition, whatever I have read is he's saying reversing of the onus of proof and a procedural impropriety in the process, and he's asked for quashing of the recommendation of impeachment. I personally feel it's legally misconceived. Insofar as the grounds are concerned, the grounds are untenable. Reversal of onus of proof in any case is not something which is unheard of in law. In this particular case, when money is found in a person's house, the onus to explain is there. As far as the committee is concerned, this is a summary inquiry. This is not a judicial inquiry in the traditional sense to have all the norms of due process incorporated in it. As long as there is a due method which has been followed for opinion, which is prima facie made out, insofar as the recommendation is concerned, the recommendation is unexceptionable. And that said, as I said in the beginning, as far as the impeachment process is concerned, the impeachment process is absolutely independent. And if the MPs, the requisite number of MPs make the recommendation and thereafter it is accepted by the speaker, the chairman, then the law kicks in, right, whatever the recommendation otherwise the Chief Justice.
Right, absolutely. And talking about, in the history of Indian law, if the Indian judiciary, has there been a case similar to this that has come to the fore where an impeachment of judge has happened after parliamentary decision being taken on the same matter?
Impeachment after parliamentary decision, I don't follow. The impeachment will always be on
a motion that has been passed in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha for the impeachment of a judge. Has a similar case happened in the past in the history of law in our country?
No, as far as this particular case is concerned, it's in some way unique in the sense it is putting into sharp focus the in-house procedure mechanism and has raised issues as to what method has to be adopted by the in-house committee and how it has to be adjusted to the impeachment process. And apart from looking into the procedural infractions the judge is saying has actually happened in it. So in the issues which are raised here, it's not as if the first time an in-house committee has come before the court. There have been instances of it has come. But the issues raised here are in many ways distinct.
Okay. All right. And why is it that there is so much commotion over the charges that have been leveled against Justice Varma? This is a case that has been going on for months together.
Why should there not be commotion? This is if something of this magnitude comes into public domain, and as far as accountability is concerned, it kicks in. And notwithstanding the importance of the integrity of the judicial process, as far as accountability and transparency is concerned, are equally relevant. And questions are raised which require answers, and those answers are in a system which in some way has been devised to deal with this particular this particular aspect, and we are all engaged with it in the manner in which we should. So this is something which should be there in a healthy democracy, in which you raise questions, demand answers, enforce accountability, and then adopt the requisite legal procedures for the purposes of fixing responsibility should there be any infraction which has been identified, and judicially constitutionally, legally proved.
All right, thank you, Advocate Leghi, for joining us and sharing your views. Joining me also on the telecast right now is Advocate Ashwini Dubey. Advocate Dubey, the question then arises is about whether our judges and our lawyers are above law, are above being questioned and interrogated and charges being leveled against them. How do you view the current scenario and the proceedings taking place in the Parliament and right now the petition that is in the Supreme Court?
See, Megha, filing a petition at Supreme Court, there is no embargo. Petition can be filed. But ultimately, what would be the result of that? That's the question. See, Justice Varma had challenged the recommendation made by the former Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, to the President and the Prime Minister to initiate impeachment proceedings. So one of the ground which I have taken, that he said that the in-house inquiry committee made the findings without giving a fair opportunity to respond. And further, that the committee proceeded in a predetermined fashion and even without finding any concrete evidence, clearly drew adverse inferences against him after reversing burden of proof. And committee failed to notify any of its device procedure, denied him any opportunity to provide inputs on the evidence to be collected, examine witnesses in his absence, and provided him with the paraphrased statement instead of video recordings despite availability, selectively disclosed only incriminating material, ignored and failed to collect relevant and explanatory evidence like. So now Megha, one question herein is, once the impeachment proceedings have been initiated in the Parliament, the requisite numbers, like 152 MPs submitted a signed memorandum to Lok Sabha Speaker, and then 52 or 50 to the Rajya Sabha, then Vice President Jagdeep. And now, in-house, if you see more than 200 members of Parliament, Lok Sabha, they are supporting this move. So in that situation, if impeachment comes to the place and there are members present in the voting, their members present in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, if they pass in majority and that goes to the President, then impeachment is done and he is removed. Because why required Megha? In order to unearth, in order to reveal whose cash was this? What was the reason behind? What thing? Who are the other associates who are involved into it? Because it is not only Justice Yashwant Varma. There may be many others also who has given this money. Where from the money came?
But then has there been in the history of our judiciary, and the same question I was asking from Advocate Lekhi as well, in the history of Indian law, is this an unprecedented case, or can we take examples of previous cases to come to a logical conclusion of what might happen in the case?
Previous, you see, Justice V. Ramaswamy, he resigned when the impeachment motion was passed. Then Justice Soumitra Sen in 2011 moment motion was passed, he also resigned. So here, if we see that the removal by passing an impeachment by both the houses of Parliament and the President's notification, they resigned before that. Here, Justice Yashwant Varma had yet not resigned. So here the situation would be a little bit difficult. If he does not resign, even the impeachment motion is passed by both the houses and President takes a decision, then it would be a different case altogether of Justice Yashwant Varma.
Then that's what I'm saying. Does the investigation into the matter and the hearing of the case and a joint committee being formed to further find out what actually happened during the after the impeachment motion has been passed, again an individual, and in this case Justice Varma, once the impeachment is established, does that judge resign and that's the end of it, or are there going to be is there going to be a criminal procedure again lodged against him after he is impeached?
No, obviously, the immunity only remain till the time he is on the post. Once the impeachment is successful, then he would be an ordinary citizen. Once he is an ordinary citizen, there will be no constitutional immunity. If there is no immunity, then of course there would be the detailed investigation by any prime agency or expert agency of this country. So that's why impeachment is required, because the cash was, Megha, I'm very categorically submitting, cash was found from the house of government bungalow of Justice Yashwant Varma. And then if cash was found and FIR has to be registered, unless he is provided immunity, there can't be FIR. So in order to unless and until impeachment is passed, he will be having the constitutional immunity. Once constitutional immunity goes, then he will become ordinary citizen. Ordinary citizen, because the FIR will be registered, and criminal action will take its place. That is what the procedure is, unless and until any other procedure is adopted or Honorable Supreme Court set certain criteria, because petition is already filed with the Supreme Court.
Okay.
That is what.
Okay, all right. All right. I'll come back to you. I am also being joined by Justice A.N. Mittal. Justice Mittal, thank you for joining us. Again, the same question. How do you view the case hearing that is soon going to start in the Supreme Court after constitution of the 3-judge bench by the CJI? The petition that has been filed in court by Justice Yashwant Varma, who is challenging the accusations against him on the corruption charges, and at the same time the impeachment motion that has been sought by the parliamentarians in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha.
Certainly, in my humble opinion, both the proceedings are different. They are not dependent upon each other. And for the impeachment motion, the recommendation of CJI is not required. As far as the petition before Honorable the Supreme Court is concerned, the main ground taken is that he was not given proper opportunity of hearing, and he has challenged the 3 judges' inquiry report. What we see that when this inquiry was going on, even before the inquiry, he was given full opportunity to explain the circumstances and explain that how that cash was found in his home. Even after the inquiry report was submitted to the Honorable Chief Justice of India, the said report was furnished to Justice Yashwant Varma, and his explanation was sought. He has not given very satisfactory explanation, and the usual defenses that it is wrong, it is biased, it is unconstitutional, the usual defenses have been taken. So I think that there are very remote chances of success in the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court has followed the procedure whichever is provided under the law. As far as the impeachment motion before the Parliament is concerned, the Parliament has already taken 150 signatures of the Lok Sabha members and 63 signatures of the Rajya Sabha member, and the requirement is 150. 100 from the Lok Sabha and
Yes.
50 from the Rajya Sabha. And government appears to be in full mood to move the impeachment motion in the present House. And I think that the government is having majority and has taken the confidence of all other political parties. So I think that this impeachment motion shall be passed by majority.
Could you also tell us what is the procedure once the motion has been accepted, it's been admitted, what is the procedure?
When the motion has been passed in the by both the houses of the Parliament, then the impeachment is done. Then, as my brother Ashwini Dubey was telling, that after that he will be an ordinary citizen and a criminal case can be registered against him. And for when the impeachment motion is passed,
when this investigation is going on, who are the individuals? Is it a committee that is formed? Who are the members who are part of the committee who investigate the matter and decide whether the judge is to be impeached?
Certainly, it is the privilege of the Parliament to also inquire independently, not only to take the view of the three judges committee. The Parliament has a prerogative to investigate the matter of its own, and whatever conclusion they draw. Certainly upon that, the impeachment motion shall be moved.
All right. Okay. And then, and what do you think? Do you think this entire furor that has been created, the untimely resignation of Jagdeep Dhankar as the Vice President and the Chair of Rajya Sabha, about the government versus opposition, this is what it seems to have become. The BJP at this point of time feels, this is being speculated, that the opposition was trying to undercut it in the Rajya Sabha, versus the opposition at this point of time trying to take credit to be the harbingers of anti-corruption in the country. Do you think this is these developments, these political developments and brickbats that are being witnessed all around us could be let go of, and focus should have just remained on the impeachment motion and the allegations and charges against Justice Varma?
Basically, whatever is coming in the electronic media and the print media, we can tell about that only, because we don't have any specific knowledge. Basically, what has come in the print media as well as in the electronic media, that Honorable the Vice President intended to bring the impeachment motion by the signatures of 63 opposition members in the Rajya Sabha. He was moving the motion in the Rajya Sabha, and certainly if that motion was passed by the Rajya Sabha, all the opposition members, then the credit could have gone to the members of the opposition. While it was the move, and it is the move of the majority government to impeach Justice Varma.
But I don't know. Is this? Are we saying? Is this just the mere women fancy of the government, of the members of parliament, to impeach a particular individual, or the fact that the act that he has allegedly committed has then forced the parliamentarians who are representatives of the people of India to act in such a manner to seek an impeachment motion against this individual? All right, I'm out of time. I thank both of you for joining me on the telecast and sharing your views.